Well, commercial fishing in South Africa employs an estimated 30,000 people and feeds 3.6 million. The trade generates 4.1 billion rand in revenue. The SA Maritime Job Summit takes place today at the Mabhida Stadium in KZN and will profile careers in the maritime industry to learners and graduates. We're joined on the line now by Mildred Oliphant. She's South Africa's Labour Minister. For more on this, thanks so much, Minister, for joining us this afternoon. Well, unemployment is a big challenge in the country. Of course, close enough to 25% of the labour force out of work in the second quarter. What dent can the maritime industry potentially make to this picture nationally?
Looking at the opportunities in the maritime industry, particularly when it comes to the employment of the people, I think if the program goes very well, we can see the increase in terms of the employment. Because at the present moment, what we find is that maritime industry is employing 250,000 seafarers in particular, but these seafarers are working and are coming from other countries. We don't have seafarers in South Africa. And also looking at the potential of probably owning the vessels in the country, we believe that as a continent, we can be able to employ a lot of people, but also the challenge is part of the issue that has been raised in the discussion at the present moment is the issue of skills. But we are saying as the Department of Labour and Department of Higher Education and Training, there are those opportunities because we do have funding specifically for training of young people in different skills. And the industry as well, they have said they are prepared to partner with us in training those young people. And therefore, what is critical right now is that we need to build that working relations between the industry itself and the Department of Labour and Department of Higher Education and Training.
Minister, it's Lindsay in Cape Town, a very vibrant port. I know it's not quite as important as Durban, where you are now. Looking at some of these figures, it's quite staggering how important the maritime industry is in South Africa. I mean, 30,000 people employed by the fishing industry, 15,000 employees in the 8 commercial ports, and CNBC Africa has been running a whole series on the port industry quite recently. You talk about the funding being available, but the skills being a problem. Are you saying that there is potential, if the skills are there, to employ a lot more people than are already employed in this industry?
Yes, if we find if we can train more people on the skills that are required by the industry, we can be able to employ more people because some of them have indicated, those who are in the industry as we speak, they have indicated that they need certain skills. Particularly, they were even requesting us that we need to link the education department, particularly through the universities and FET colleges, in training the people in engineering and in different technical skills, because they were saying an engineer can't work alone, but he will need or she will need people with technical skills. And therefore, we are saying as the Department of Labour and also as the government of South Africa, we are prepared, looking at the interventions that has been created by the government, to say when we need skills, we have to do training. But the industry must come on board to say we need so many skills in this particular area, and then we can just assist in training those young people.
So what are some of the initiatives that are currently being tabled to overcome a challenge like this, which is actually preventing this market from entering the global arena in a big way?
What we can do, because I believe that the challenge that we are facing at the present moment is that, for example, South Africa doesn't have even one vessel as we speak. And also we find that the continent as well have the same challenge, that they don't even own various vessels. But as a continent, we are rich when it comes to the sea waters. And if we can do that, we can be able to train a lot of people, particularly those who are interested in working underwater. One of them was those who can deal with the with the mining industry, particularly when it comes to the diamonds, to sort out the diamonds, but they must be prepared to be underwater at least for 6 months or 9 months.
Minister Lindsay, again in Cape Town, this is an important event that you're headlining at the moment, and the jobs that I've spoken about, you know, the 30,000 in the fishing industry, outside of recreational fishing activities, the 15,000 in the ports, it's all very important, but those are the sort of small numbers that we're talking about in a very sort of niched economic part of the South African economy. When you sit down at your desk in the morning and you see that we've got 25% unemployment in this country, you must have things right at the top of the list rather than this, which is probably down at number 7 or 8. It's a very difficult job for you. Do you think you're making progress?
I must say yes, we are making progress, because after the first 2 job summits, there were young people who were employed. And as we speak, we have agreed with SAMSA that as the Department of Labour, we are going to train together 1,500 young people in different skills in the industry, because they have identified the shortages of skills, particularly when it comes to electrical engineering and other technical skills. So we are going to partner with them, and then we will fund those training for those young people.
It's one thing, Minister, ramping up the skills. When it comes to, the South African labour market at large, a problem that often creeps up is the fact that our labour laws are just too stringent to accommodate and create the jobs it needs overall to stem the kind of unemployment situation we're looking at in the country. Your views on that?
The labour laws of the country are not rigid. I'm saying that because the very same people, the business people that we have partnered with, who are our social partners, we take these decisions together, particularly when it comes to the International Labour Organization, and they are part of the signatories of those conventions. And therefore, when we come back to the country, they can then claim that the laws are rigid. For example, when you look at if the industry is not doing well, they have the right to apply for the exemption. There is a space for that. But at the same time, we can't allow a situation where people will be made as casual workers for more than a year, for 6 months. That is why we are saying in 6 months' time, people must be deemed permanent. Because when you can't have a casual worker who can work for more than 2 years, and you call that person is a casual worker. So I think the industry, rather than to focus on profit only, they must also look at who is doing the production at the same time.